Hi, I'm Marie. I'm one of your Marker Pop colorists. I have a mini tutorial for you today, and I hope you enjoy it. Today we're going to do a lilac color combo with our Copics. We're using V01, V04, V06, and V09. Together this will make a lilac color combo. We're going to be using the image by Sherry Baldy called Broom, Hilda, Boo. My light source is going to be coming from, as I look at this, my upper left-hand corner. I'm going to begin by laying down a little bit of color, my very lightest, but again, this dress is going to have some kind of folds in it, and I know I normally tell you I completely lay down my base coat for ease in blending, but when I have a pleat, this is one time when I do not, because I really want to reserve as much white as I can for my highlight. But I'll begin just blocking out and mapping with my highlight color, my V01, exactly where I may want to have my folds, my shadows. And again, using just tiny little flicking methods with my wrist. I'm using the very tip part of my pen for the very deepest part of my fold in order to keep that area very dark and the color very, very intense. Gentle flicking motion. So again, flicking toward my highlight with a very light touch. I'm going over those areas with my mid-tone, my V04, making sure that I like how they look, that where I have mapped my shadows, my pleat, is what I really want for my finished product. At this point I can make a little bit of change if I want to, but in this case I like where I have established my shadows at this time. And I'm going to darken the area with my next darker color. Actually, it is one of my shadows because my V09 is actually an optional high intensity. Flicking, I'm just kind of going from the outer edge, flicking toward my highlight, using my V04 that I put down as my landmark and just kind of going over the top, darkening that area. Now I'm using my higher intensity. This is an optional color if you want, but I like very dark intensity on my coloring. Gently flicking toward my highlight, but not covering too much of my highlight area because I still have a couple other midtones to be able to color in there, and I want to make sure my white is reserved. Again, a gentle flicking motion. The paper I'm using is Express It. I stamped the image using Memento Black. Now we're just going to be flicking outward toward the highlight. From the outer edge of my dark color toward the highlight. Do not try to go over your darkest with a lighter tone. It will become blotchy. You won't get that smooth look that you're going for. Just always from the outer edge now of your darker color, flicking toward the highlight. I like to reserve my white until my final step, because every time you go over a highlight, even though it is your lightest color, it will lay down one more particle of color and darken your highlight. So I like to, that's the one reason I'm not choosing to go over my entire image initially like I often do with the pleats, because I want that contrast to be very stark, very different. And just continue that process of reworking your image until you get the look that you're going for here. Just gently, always going back, darkening your shadow, working to your mid-tone, and then again to your highlight, from your very darkest shadow to your highlight. And flicking on out for that little flare in the bottom of the skirt. A little bit darker where the flare starts, and then we'll just eventually work our way to our mid-tone, flicking outward a little, and then the very lightest highlight. I think this little image is so adorable. I used the same color for her hat, and like I did add some contrasting, some complementary yellow to allow my image to really pop. And there you have it.